Grace and peace, Black family. This is Vicky Dillard, your sister with the curly braids. And I want you to get ready for the new Master Elements project, The Spear and the Shield.
This vaccine isn't experimental. It's like a dandelion. You overlook it for their weird science.
DJ RP Beats and Sincere Love the God have taken this time during the pandemic to carefully craft the soundtrack to Black empowerment with hot tracks like God Mine, featuring Sadat X of the legendary group Brand Nubians.
We never die. I made an ancestral shrine. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen, I'm a law in the person of Sincere Love the God. That mean your arms too short like Tar Anthony Shaw.
God Painted Me Black.
God painted me black, thanks for that. I'm a Benjamin man.
A letter to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing.
I say to the ancestors, dear Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, I just wanted to thank you for all the lessons you left us. So yes, I'm more than grateful.
And the controversial song Buck Breaking God Today.
Why every black show they gotta have a transgender? Either I'm crazy or this gotta be a planned agenda.
Get ready, Black family. This is a much needed project. This is The Spear and the Shield.
And those Africans have to be organized to fight for their liberation.
GW Apparel, a clothing that speaks. Something for the kings, something for the queens. Visit uptsites.com and use promo code SLDG22 and receive 11% off your order. Peace.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.
All right, peace, family. What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the God Sincere Love, and I am here with my lovely co-host, Nicety Girl. What's going on, everybody?
What's good? Happy Sunday, everybody. It's a hot, sunny day here in Cali. How's it out there in the A?
It's very hot. It's been very hot. We've been in the 90s for the past couple of weeks. It got real close to 100 the other day. I love it.
Ooh,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I love it. I don't complain about the heat that much. You know what I'm saying? I went out this morning to the park and was walking the trails and all of that. It didn't get up to 90 yet, but it was up there in the 80s.
You felt it.
Yeah. And I'm out there, I'm out there with the hoodie on and all that. I'm trying to burn some of this fat off. You know what I'm saying?
I was in the gym burning some out with Coach Bay's wife yesterday. I did her women's boot camp. It's called the Get Snatched boot camp. So I got snatched for show. I'm sore as hell, but it was all worth it. So, and I will continue to do it. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling it in a good way.
I feel you. I'm just getting up from a nap. Old niggas gotta
right.
Take nap early today.
I've been doing that. I've been on the nap.
Shout out to Mama Love in the building, Kevin Blackwell, Trill Faith, going to the family. Peace to y'all. Make sure that y'all hit the like button as y'all coming up in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. When you hit the like button, what it does is it helps to boost us into the YouTube algorithm. It helps to make sure that people that are subscribed to our channel definitely get the notification whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. So definitely need y'all to hit that like button. Share this out on your social media platforms and let everybody know that we are live right now. Even if you don't share it and send it to anyone, like I always tell y'all, if you just copy the link, it still sends the same message to the YouTube algorithm as it would if you shared it with 1 million people. The algorithm doesn't know the difference. So just at least copy the link.
Copy the link.
And subscribe. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you're not already subscribed. Godcast Enterprises, YouTube. Sincere Love the God on YouTube. Make sure that y'all hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. Shout out to Virgo Venom in the building.
Hey, sis.
So,
our regulars.
Y'all. Yes, indeed.
Thank y'all.
The Godcast tribe is in the building. So thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Thank y'all
Before,
for rocking with us too. Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely. Got a lot of new subscribers as of recent too. So want to say peace to y'all. Welcome all the new subscribers. Good to have y'all with us. You know what I'm saying? I noticed our numbers been going up lately. So that's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. I know,
That
right?
means
That cool. Mama love, you beat me to the punch. I meant to tell you, I like the hairstyle. The hairstyle's fly.
who's.
Yours.
Oh, thank y'all.
Yeah, what's
Styles
up?
by Nay. That's my niece, y'all. So if you're in the Compton, LA, or Long Beach area, hit Styles by Nay up. My niece did this. Yeah, she got me stitch braids. You know.
Baby hair and all that. Baby hair's popping
Yeah.
and all that. I like
You
it.
know what I'm saying? Got the baby hairs laid. No, thank y'all though. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So as y'all see from the title today, we letting the Democrats know that reparations is the only way out. It's
That's
reparations
it.
or bust season. As we get closer and closer to the election, looking worse and worse for the Democrats. I know a lot of y'all saw that fiasco the other night that they call a debate between Donald Trump and
Sleepy
President
Joe.
Joe Biden.
Sleepy Joe.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I seen enough.
The
I
clip
wasn't
was enough.
all of that for real, for real. So we're gonna be giving our take on all of that nonsense and the aftermath from behind it, and where we at with it as foundational Black Americans, as the B1 family. You know what I'm saying? It's our job to keep beating the drum of reparations and letting these folks know they know what it is. They know what it is, but
They
we still.
definitely know. Here it is. They definitely know what it is, and that's what you guys know. We are signal boosting the message here on Sincere Love the Godcast, right?
That's what we
That's
do.
our job here. That's our goal, is to make sure that we're signal boosting the message of tangibles, reparations, quid pro quo, all that stuff, right? Dr. Claude Anderson's message, Tariq Nasheed's message. That's what we're here to signal boost here, because if we don't do it now, you know, I feel like shit. They say we're gonna be doomed. Shit, I feel like we're in doomsday now. If
It's
we
damn
don't
sure
change the
doomsday.
narrative, yeah, definitely doomsday. So, if we don't, change the narrative right now, you know, um, if we're gonna vote, vote as a block. If we're gonna vote couch, do that as a block as well. In order for our message to be heard, we all have to be in unison with one another to make sure that they understand that we mean business, like everybody else, that's fighting for tangibles for their group. We mean business too.
Indeed. Shout out to the Keep It P podcast in the building, B1 family.
Hey, peace.
Um, how you say your name? Chukwu Igwe. Chukwu Igwe said, "Cut the check." I'm with you on
That's
that.
it. I mean, a lot of them cut a lot of checks.
Cut the check.
Cut
Corpse King
several
versus
checks.
Lynch King. Yeah, it was disgusting. I don't know how anybody sat there and watched that whole thing, but it was a mess. It was
What?
a talking about the debate.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was. It
comments.
was embarrassing. I think it was embarrassing for the nation. To have an incompetent, senile, sitting president, on stage, can't see, hear. You can barely. It definitely wasn't a cold either. Joyless Reed. He did not have a cold.
Yeah,
He's old and senile, and he can't keep up. We're not accepting the whole cold thing. No.
yeah. That's
Mm-mm.
that's the best that the Democrats can do with their
That was
deflection. That's what
right,
they do because I've been hearing all the deflections. It's the same 3 or 4 different talking points coming from the Democratic chills
man.
explaining about their boy Joe Biden. What up, Peter O'Goon? I ain't see you in a
What's
minute,
up?
kid.
I know he's been over here missing in action.
He's still been showing love. I see you been,
Oh yeah,
sharing up the broadcast and all of that, but I ain't see you on
you
the
see him
live
in the
anymore.
chat, right?
They must got you on the plantation down there in Louisiana. Let us know. Let us know you need them freedom papers, man.
We miss you.
Hey. So yeah, man. So yeah, reparations are bust, man. Reparations is the only way out for the
Hmm.
Democrats. And so recently, I don't know if y'all got a chance to saw. I saw this actually soon as we got off the live last
Right.
Sunday. Um, I was about to say Judge Joe Brown, not Judge Joe Brown, but Judge Mathis was spitting some hot fire, speaking truth to power about what we need. You know what I mean? So let's play some of that.
Fair use.
To that right there. Yeah, absolutely. Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Here you go right here. Hold up. Let me unmute this joint. All right. This is Judge Mathis speaking on our tangibles. And I see Nicely Girl in the comments heavy.
I sure was.
Nicely Girl in the comments heavy. Coretta Scott King was against illegal immigration. Black America definitely want these borders closed and locked. We are tired of these anti-Black, hostile, illegal aliens being dropped off in our neighborhoods, coming here for unearned benefits while we're denied reparations. Go ahead, Nicely Girl. Let me like the damn comments real quick. Let me hit the like button on them comments real quick. All right, but here go Judge Mathis.
As I leave, they're about to run me out of here. As we face this critical.
By the way, is that the RBG flag in the back?
Yep.
Look like the Pan-African RBG flag back there.
It is.
Oh snap! Let me plug my computer. My computer about to die. Hold on one second. Hold up,
y'all. Hold up. And again, don't forget to like. Don't forget to share this broadcast.
Okay, now where's he at again?
Just
all right,
over.
I'm trying to see where he was at. Sharing remarks I made regarding Dr. Martin Luther King's views on economic justice and reparations, all caps. He mentioned his support of reparation in his books and speeches. So it doesn't say where he was at. I'm not sure where he was at. Let me see. It said, oh, he's in Chicago. Chicago, something or other. This is somewhere in Chicago. I don't know what event this was, but here go Judge Mathis.
Election year, we need to hear more about the things that our community on King Day, what's being done and what are the goals and what are the achievements for our community, not just Black faces in high places.
Right.
We love all the African-American Supreme Court sisters, or our sister in the Supreme Court, and all the other cabinet members. We love them all.
Speak for yourself.
But what about the masses of our folks? Recent polls by Black folks show that we care most about racial justice, economic opportunity, policing, voting rights, and education reform. Not war in the Middle East.
Good, sir.
Not funding for Ukraine. Not abortion rights. Not even immigration.
Yes, it is.
Don't even come in the top 5. None of those in Black folks' concerns. Not one of those are within the top 5.
Yes, it is.
So you got to talk to us about that.
What'd you say?
Immigration is on the top of our list. Reparations, anti-Black hate crime bill, definitely closing these damn borders. I believe immigration is in the top 5.
No, he's saying supporting immigration. You know, the issues that they're trying to get us to support. The issues that they're trying to say are Black issues that we need to be supporting. He's saying that's not none of our concern. Is what he's saying.
Definitely. I just want to make sure we on the same page, Mr. Mathis.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. He is taking a minute to get to the most important part. You know, he's talking about all these other stuff, education reform and justice reform and all. Yeah, those are issues for us too. But you know, it's not in that order though.
Right.
It's not in that order. Reparations should have been the first thing out of his mouth, as far as I'm concerned. But he gonna get to it though. Let me give him a minute. He gonna get to it.
You have to talk to us about economic justice, which is Dr. King's last efforts, Reverend Jackson will tell you. We won that struggle. We won the struggle for civil rights, the 1964 Civil Rights Act, 1965 Voting Rights Act. Civil Rights Act turned economics around 360%.
This part right here, I didn't quite understand too much.
Right.
Right. We definitely we won the struggle for civil rights, but it ended up putting us in a trick bag. The victory was for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It was a struggle that we fought, but everybody else reaped the benefits of the victory.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And then when he said it was the civil rights victory, he said was a 360-degree turnaround economically, which kind of don't make no sense. That it doesn't make no sense. I think he meant to say 180, but even still, I'm trying to figure out where you're getting that math from. Trying to figure out where you're getting that math from, because according to my math, we still own the same percentage of wealth. We still own the same percentage of the wealth that we owned then and 100 years before that. It ain't really moved.
But we own less land though. We own less land though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's the math ain't math, Mr. Mathis.
Right. I don't know what he meant by that at all. So there were certain parts of this, especially when it came to the numbers that he's going to talk about toward the end. There were certain parts of this that I was kind of like, but I'm not throwing it out with the bathwater, because it's good to see people in high profile positions raising the issue of reparations on you know what I'm saying, on these platforms. We need more people to start talking like this, and maybe they need to come around to get the language all the way right, and make sure that they up on the information the way they need to be up on the information. The fact that raising the issue, I could pop my collar to that. We'll straighten everything out that needs to be straightened out, but at least they talking that talk.
Prior to the Civil Rights Act, you had 80% or 75% of our people lived in poverty, 25% middle class or working class. Now it's 360% turn around.
I don't know what that means.
Right.
75% of our folks, middle class, upper income, only 25% in poverty. A 360-degree turn. It worked. Voting.
When you do a 360-degree turn, you end up in the same spot where you started from.
Right.
That's
and what about all these?
If you do a 360-degree turn, you end up in the same place that you began.
Right. And what about all these homeless people? Again, I'm here in LA, y'all. 55% of the homeless population here in California are Black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In Maxine Waters district, by the way. Let me also, state that out loud. Specifically in Maxine Waters district, a Black woman.
Yeah, again, I don't know where these numbers are coming from. Saying only 25% of Black folks are living in poverty. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where those numbers
about that.
from. I don't know if that's true, if that's not true. It don't sound right. I'll say that. It don't sound right. But carry on, because I would even, to me, let's say that is true. Let's say 75% of Black people are middle class or above, and only 25% of Black people are living in poverty. Even when let's say that was true, still doesn't have a proportionate amount of wealth compared to our white counterparts. So there's still a racial wealth gap that exists between the Black middle class and the white middle class. So we're not going to point out, the disparity within our own community. That's like a non sequitur, if you ask me.
Rights Act after that, 1965. At that time, we had less than 1,000 Black elected. Now we have over 20,000 Black elected officials, and we won the presidency.
And ain't none of them doing nothing for Black people.
Exactly. Just because it's not a victory for the masses, because some Black people got a job, and then they get these jobs to do nothing for their own people. And a lot of these Black faces in high places are not Black foundational Black Americans. A lot of them are tethers, as we're seeing.
Oh, you said my audio been breaking up?
For me, on my end, I don't know about in the chat. Has Sincere's audio been good on you guys' end? For me, it had been a little choppy and breaking up in between.
Yeah, y'all gotta let me know because I did see that on some of the playbacks from the previous episodes where it was a little glitchy on my end as far as the audio. But I think it happens whenever I'm sharing the screen, really. So
Okay.
I'll be sharing the screen and it kind of slows things down on my end. But what was I saying about that? Oh yeah, he started off his cue talking about how we need to see what's going to be done for the masses of black people, not just black faces in high places. That's what he started off saying.
That's
And
what he
then,
said initially.
right. And then he starts checking off all these victories about how we got 20,000 black elected officials. What does that do for the masses of black people?
Right.
Ain't
Because
none of
they
them,
got a job.
none of those positions representing us. They not pushing our issues. None of them.
They're pushing every other person's issue, every other group's issue. What's his name? That was just shimmying with his he loved immigrant shirt. He just got voted out. He was pushing the issues of immigrants and not black Americans. Jamal Bowman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get to y'all in the chat. I can't see the comments when I'm sharing the page. I'm gonna get to y'all in the chat. I see y'all chiming in. I see y'all chiming in here. I want to get to the end of the video because there's some more parts in there that I wanted to touch on. And we got a lot of stuff to get through, so I don't want to play too many long videos, but this one I want to get to the end of it.
And so it is that this struggle for economic justice must continue because we're winning there too. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Civil Rights Act allowed us in the mainstream America. Now we have hundreds of thousands of black professionals. We have over 2 million black millionaires. So stop begging other folks to do what we won't do for ourselves. I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Some of y'all black millionaires are here today. I don't want to embarrass you.
I wasn't mad at him calling them out.
But we've won in many ways, and now we must fight for income equality. Dr. King would want us to continue to do. Access to capital, to building our own businesses, as Dr. King would suggest. And then reparations.
Finally.
We've eliminated affirmative action, don't want to give us a hand up at all after keeping us down.
And by the way, there should have been a round of applause when he finally said reparations. Where was the applause at?
Right.
I heard like 2 claps.
So we're going to go for the whole thing. We tried to be nice and accept affirmative action, diversity, equity, inclusion. We tried to go for all of the little stuff and you took it back. But now we're coming for it all. We're coming for it all. You project to spend $600 billion in the next 6 years on the migrant crisis. $600 billion. All we need is $300 billion for 30 years, and you'll pay the debt that you owe African Americans here in America. Thank you.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Again, I don't know where he's getting these numbers from.
Right. What are you talking about?
You're going to have to put a T on that. You're going to have to put a T on that. 300 billion ain't going to do it. So again, some of the messaging is off. Some of the numbers is way off. You know what I'm saying? But we getting it out there.
The message is the same.
The power is from the ground up. The power is coming from the ground up. We controlling the narrative. That's what this shows and proves. We controlling the narrative. They starting to sound more like us. They ain't sounding exactly like us, but they starting to sound more like us. We still saying the same thing we've been saying. We've been staying on message heavy.
And they're forced to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Even if their hearts are not really with it, even though they don't really believe in it, they're being forced, you know what I'm saying, to talk about it. And I think that's why these numbers are off. You know, it's like, let me mention it, but we're going to still lowball the numbers so they don't get too excited, or, you know what I'm saying, we're going to fill it with a lot of momentum about reparations, but we're going to keep the numbers really, really small. But as long as we're talking about it, Black people are happy.
Yeah, that ain't going to work.
No.
That ain't gonna work.
Because we're serious about it though. They playing, but we here, in the grassroots area, the black people that are on code, we're very serious about getting our tangibles.
Right. And we should have been on this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So glad to see some of the old Negroes is starting to realize. He like, damn, y'all giving $600 billion to the migrants. Hold on, maybe these young folks know what the hell they talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that should be offensive too, honestly. Because these quote unquote migrants are coming here illegally. A lot of these people are not asylum seekers. A lot of these people are here to get unearned benefits, and a lot of times they come here and they're sending their money back there. They stay here long enough to get their bag up and then they take it right back to their country.
Right. Right. And by the way, yeah, we here to keep our foot on the neck of the Democrats and let them know that it's reparations are bust. But at the same time, I don't want people to get it twisted and think that we out here supporting Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is still on some shit. Donald Trump is still on this type of shit. So we're not rocking with him either, just to be clear.
Back our law enforcement, we're going to give her back the respect that they deserve. They are being treated so badly. If they do something that's harsh to stop a crime, they end up losing their pension, they end up losing their job, they end up losing their family and their home. And I'm giving immunity to police all over the country.
Yeah, so we ain't rocking with his ass either.
No, absolutely not. Which, for those that hear that and get spooked by that, because there's a lot of people like to move on fear. But police have immunity right now as it pertains to us. Let's be very, very clear about that. Right. He's not giving them anything that they don't already have, so right. I just want to say that right now.
Right. That's a good point. And the Democrats ain't doing nothing to punish the police either when they harm us.
Exactly.
The majority of these cases that we hear about with people getting shot and killed and harmed by the police, that most of them happen in Democratic run cities.
Exactly.
And these officers, these race soldiers, they're still walking free right now. So it ain't no different. Ain't no different than what he's talking about. So yeah, don't let that scare you.
All right, and it looks like we have a troll in here. What is this? Cash God, I don't know. FBA Tariq's meat grinders claim not being a African xenophobia against Africans, but y'all want a check from the African slaves. They owe too, but we're gonna start with America first. We're gonna stall y'all out for now.
Yeah, don't block him.
We're gonna stall y'all out right now. You know what I'm saying? We're going after the big dogs for now. You know what I'm saying? But hold your horses too.
Yeah. And by the way, stick around. We'll get to you. Y'all don't know why you're trying to center yourself in the conversation. We're not even talking about y'all right now.
Right.
But if you stick around, we might bring you up on stage and give you some of this work before we get up out of here. Because I seen you in the comments last broadcast. I seen you in the comments. So don't block him, by the way. Any of the moderators that's in here, let him live. If he wants to come on a little bit later, he can get this work. But it's not about you right now.
And Breeze Omega just made a great point. Obama signed the Back the Blue bill. Let's not forget. Who is he? A Democrat.
Right. Right. Just like the tether that's in the chat now. But we'll get to him a little bit later. Okay. Not that. Where we going next? What we talking about after this?
Not that.
There was a story out there by you about what's going on with the reparations task force out there by you, but I'll look for it in this.
About the $12 million that they allocated. Basically, it's $12 million to study. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like task force. They're investing $12 million basically to invest in studying.
Your audio went out, beloved. Your audio went out. Say that again.
Sorry about that. It was my phone was ringing.
Okay, go ahead. Repeat what you said. Yeah, you
I was
good?
saying that they are allocated $12 million to the reparations task force here, and that $12 million is basically for more studying. So that's
To
them,
get
you know,
resources to complete the study.
right, right. Now we still don't
That's
have the new and improved Freedman's Bureau or any of that as of yet, but they have, and it's something, right, to do more of
right.
the studying. Like, we need people to be, we need a team to be able to help people find, their genealogy, right, to make sure you are eligible, for the reparations. So all of that money is allocated for these types of things.
Which is good. Which is
Yeah.
good. California is setting a template for the rest of the country to be able to follow right now. So, shout out to the California task force getting things in order. I love to see it. I love to see it. They keep his whole ass in the chat. We have a special way of handling semi-tetanus kid. No doubt. But did y'all see Claudia Jordan?
Oh Lord.
She was on some red carpet, it looked like. And yeah, she sound like one of these scared Negroes. Hold on. Let me play this.
Same shit.
She's telling us how we need to be scared of Donald Trump and all that, and we gotta vote blue no matter who. Claudia Jordan. Claudia Jordan. I thought she was cool. Hold on.
So, what are some things you want to tell our ballers at home when it comes to this upcoming election? And what are you? Obviously, I'm assuming I know what you're hoping for. What are you hoping for when it comes to the polls?
She ready too. She like, yeah, this is the question I've been waiting for. She ready.
And people really doing their research when it comes to this election.
I gotta say this to my fellow Black Americans: how the Republican Party is trying to come for you and try to get you sneakers, RICO charges, convictions. That's what they think of us. They think that.
I don't like when they do that, man. I don't like when they do that. And I'm sorry, the thing keeps slowing down whenever I share the screen and all that. So when I pause it, I just got to remove it from the screen just to give the commentary and the feedback. But I hate when they do that. They talk to us like we stupid.
Right.
We not dumb. Ain't nobody out here supporting Donald Trump because of sneakers.
Right.
She telling us, this is what they think of you. But honestly, this is what you think of us too. If you think we dumb enough to fall for that.
Man. Right. Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. That's what y'all think of us.
Right. We don't need you to tell us that. You're not the Negro whisperer, ma'am. We know this already. We know Donald Trump ain't shit. Ain't nobody running to the Republican Party. Right. We just pointing out the nonsense that's going on in the Democratic Party. We're not going to ignore that.
Right. And we're not running to the Democratic Party anymore unless they produce tangibles. That's it. We're not voting to keep Donald Trump out. People did that 4 years ago. Remember, it was we gotta save democracy and all this bull crap.
Right. They still saying that. It's the same talking points 4 years later. Mm-hmm. They're saying the same things. And now they're trying to convince us that Joe Biden created more jobs. He gave us student loans. Hold on. These are the talking points. He created more jobs. They gave us student loans. What was it? $10,000 for home buyers or something like that.
Them programs
these are the 5 so-called tangibles that we got in the last 4 years that they trying to convince us. Yeah, he is doing something for Black folks. They just ain't got the messaging right. They need to tell y'all what they doing. Listen, if they was doing something for us, they wouldn't have to translate. Right. We would feel it.
Why is it that we know all these bills? Why do we know all these bills and executive orders that he did for every other group, but nothing for us? How come? Because Black people can tell you what he did for everybody else, but we can't name what he specifically done for us. So what does that say, Claudia?
Because it's not specific. It's not specific at all. It's all lift all programs that are for everybody, and we supposed to get included in it too. So hey, be happy, Negroes. You guys are included too. No, it don't work like that. We got specific harm done to us, and so we need specific repair. It's simple. It's not really complicated. And y'all not going to keep running game on us with these benign neglect policies and all that. Like we way hip to that. Are y'all not reading the room? We way hip to that.
They're definitely not reading the room.
All right, let me
and I think that they think it eventually will just shut up is what they're hoping for.
Let me put Claudia back up here, and I'm going to shut up because I know my audio messes up when I share it.
That is supposed to get us on board. And I feel like that's very insulting. Does the Democratic Party have it perfectly right? Absolutely not. Is there room to grow in the Democratic Party? Do y'all need to get it together? Yes, absolutely. I would like to see reparations in the forefront of what you're doing.
Say
this
that.
Country is so successful above every other country in the world because you had 400 years of free labor. And it's time for you to pay us for our ancestors building this country. So, yes, I'm not going to jump ship on the...
So what are some things you want to talk
Hold on. So she said the right thing, but she's still not going to jump ship on the Democrats, even if they don't do it.
Right.
That don't make sense.
So make that make sense. Make
Democratic
zero
Party,
sense.
because I'm not against... I'm against... this Republican Party taking the rights away from women to make their own choices. How can you vote for a party that says if you're raped or molested, I don't care, you have to carry that body because you can't carry that baby because I said so. That should...
Listen, we're not voting for the Republicans.
Period.
We're not voting for the Republicans. But we ain't voting for the Democrats either. Now, if these issues are so important, instead of talking to us about saving the democracy and preserving women's rights and all of these things, instead of coming to the Black community and telling us what we need to do to stop the Republicans from doing all of this boogeyman stuff, why don't you go to the Democrats and tell them what they need to do? Right. They know what they need to do. If all of these things are so problematic and we gotta stop this by any means necessary, then why they can't just do the right thing by their damn voting base?
Right. Instead, you guys
don't
want
come
us
to
to continue to sacrifice ourselves, even though we know they're not going to do anything to save them, but nobody is coming to save us with a policy.
Right. That's called slavery. Sacrificing yourself for the benefit of others. That's called slavery. Doing something for nothing. That is called slavery. Come on now, Claudia.
And they swear that they sound intelligent.
Should be disturbing. Look at all the DEI, the diversity programs that have been snatched away.
And
we didn't benefit from it anyway, Claudia. Everybody else did, but Black Americans that you claim to be standing for. Shut up.
From Republicans. That's not a Democratic thing. So people say, oh, Democrats, Republicans are the same thing. And Joe Biden, the crime bill in 84. Do your research. Were asking for a solution to the crack epidemic back then. So they did what they did. Was it good?
No, it wasn't good. And you're doing the same thing right now that those Black leaders was doing back then. And it wasn't good then and it ain't good now. You're doing the same exact thing that they did. Oh, we got to do something about this crack epidemic. Yeah, y'all should put more police in the Black community. Yeah, we do got to start locking niggas up and stopping and frisking and all that. Yeah, whatever you got to do to get rid of the crack. That's what they were saying back then. All of those boule Negroes. That's what they were saying back then. Threw all of us under the bus. And that's exactly what you're trying to do now.
That's what they are doing right now.
Oh, boy.
And by the way, go ahead.
But I'm voting for the lesser of the two evils. If you think Donald Trump...
The lesser of the two evils.
Go ahead.
Are they still... I was going to say that her Fox Soul show has been canceled. She announced a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that she wanted to start, tapping her toe into politics. So I'm not surprised, that they're throwing her out here in the front to start talking about anything political, because I think they're already trying to groom her anyway.
Yeah, that's probably is the case. But like you said, she's using that same old tired talking point about voting for the lesser two evils. First of all, that's a tired ass talking point. But second of all, if we was to go with that talking point, Donald Trump is the lesser of two evils in this situation.
Right. For us.
Because all of the issues, yeah, right. All of the issues that she's pointing out that are so bad are not the issues that we care about. The DEI and abortions, all of that. That's not what we out here complaining about. Black people out here complaining about our communities getting flooded with all these migrants. That's a Democratic policy, ma'am. That's a Democratic policy, right? So when we look at the situation with they're pushing LGBT on our kids in these schools and all of that stuff, that's not a Republican. Democratic. That's not a Republican push. That's a Democratic thing. These are things that we care about. Black Americans, we conservative when it comes to those type of issues.
You know, another one too that they like to throw out is, well, if you think that you're going to get reparations from the Republicans, you know, you guys are sadly mistaken. Well, we have not gotten it from the Democrats either.
They twins.
I'm just saying, Siamese.
They are twins. I think she almost done, y'all. Just bear with her.
Trump is the solution because you got a little $1,200 stimulus check. Then I feel sorry for you.
The only black people that you hear saying some shit like that are like the sexy red types,
right?
And actually, let me show that real quick. As a matter of fact, let me show that real quick. And this is what they think about the black community. They think the sexy reds represent all of us. You talking to us like we all a bunch of sexy reds out here. Talking about if you think the $1,200 stimulus check is the reason to vote for Donald Trump. Ain't none of us saying that.
Never did.
Ain't none of us saying that. But let me find that video because Joyless Reed was out here. Shout out to is this the one? No, not that one. Yeah, shout out to Vicky Dillard. Joyless Reed was out here pushing that narrative and using Sexy Red as a proxy for all of us. I don't know if y'all saw that, but here, go right here. 1 second. Fair use. All right, here you go.
Sexy Red is a hip hop artist who's very popular. And here is what she said back in last October. Take a listen.
Do you think more people are going to support Trump now in the hood or no?
Yeah, they support him in the hood. Because at first, I don't think people with him like they thought he was racist, saying little and, you know, against women. But once he started getting black people out of jail and giving people their free money, baby, we love Trump. We need him back in office.
Yeah, a little bit of free money goes a long way.
We need him back. Because, baby, them checks. Oh, yes, them stimulus checks, Trump, we miss you.
Okay, first of all, y'all needed to see Stephanie Rose
Theo Vaughn.
Can we get into this wig real quick?
With her that toupee. That's not a wig. That is a toupee. That is a toupee.
Oh,
And Sexy Red.
That's where we're going.
Straight.
My bad.
That's what we're going. And the reason I'm telling you that is that I hear this a lot, Allie. People have a mismemory. They forget that Donald Trump opposed the stimmy. Fought it. Nancy.
Who gives a damn? That $1,200 ain't help nobody. Or whatever it was. How much was it?
I think it was just $1,200.
$1,200?
It was $1,200, right?
Yeah. Y'all talking to us about some damn $1,200.
Out here it was $1,200 for citizens, and for illegal aliens it was $1,800 in California.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Joyless Reed. That's from the Victionary, not the dictionary.
Right.
That's from the Victionary, not the dictionary. Shout out to Vicky Dillard. Yeah. But yeah, Sexy Red don't represent us. Talk to us like y'all got some sense, man.
They know that, and Sexy Red is fulfilling her job.
Talk to us like y'all got some damn sense.
Sexy Red is fulfilling her job of promoting degeneracy, and to go on these podcasts. As you can see, she was sitting with a podcast full of white dudes saying this goofy shit. Y'all don't think that's by design? She's just doing her job. I don't even think she believed the shit she said
Right.
half the time.
Right. And so, oh, that was the thing I wanted to talk about with California. They was giving some land back to a native
Indian
tribe out there.
Mm-hmm. It's called the hold
Yeah,
on, let
the
me find it. I went down too far. The Shasta Indian Nation.
It's Shasta Indian Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's in
This
the
was
LA Times.
LA Times.
The
It says
Shasta Indian Nation. Go ahead, my bad.
I'm sorry. The Shasta Indian Nation to get homeland
No, you
back
good.
in large land return in California history.
Right. And so when I saw that, I'm like, you know, I wonder how many $5 Indians is in that tribe over there. You know, that's the only time they really want to do any type of justice,
right?
When they know that they really just circulating the money to their, when they doing, we're able to do a little nudge and a little wink to their fellow white supremacists. Say, here you go, buddy. But well, we look into the history of California. There were a lot of black native tribes in the foundation of California. Namely, there was a tribe called the Digger tribe. You can go look up a tribe called the Digger tribe, or the Digger Indians. If that really was a derogatory term that white supremacists started calling them, it was a white dude who was out in like the New Jersey area that traveled to California during the gold rush, and he came across these people that he described of being black as night. He just kept going on and on about how black these people were, and he had a white supremacist mindset, and they had a practice of digging holes in the ground and creating like underground like saunas. They were doing like for health practices and stuff like that, detoxing their skin and all of that. And they would dig these holes in the ground and create like these natural saunas in the ground. And so he started calling them Digger Indians in his writings as a pejorative. But if you look it up, you can find out more about that tribe. But it was tribes like that and others who were the original inhabitants of the California area. So can they get that back? While y'all busy giving people their land back, can they get their land back?
Right.
I'm just saying, because who you got out there? Gavin Newsom is a part of that, and a lot of people believe that Gavin Newsom might be the one to replace Joe Biden. Now, I wanted to put a poll in the chat. I don't know how to put polls in the chat. Y'all, I'll be seeing some people when they on live, they got a poll in the chat. I don't know how to do it. But I wanted to put a poll in the chat and ask y'all, how many of y'all think Joe Biden is going to get replaced before it's time for the election? Do y'all think Joe Biden is going to continue to be the nominee to get reelected, or y'all think they're going to replace him with somebody else? A lot of people think Gavin Newsom might be the guy that gets thrown in there.
Yeah, I think where there's smoke, there's fire. I actually made a post about it too. I said if they replace Biden with Gavin Newsom, they're likely to leverage his support for the California Reparations Task Force to appeal to the black voters. This move will be strategic, aiming to secure a critical voting bloc. They're playing chess, not checkers, positioning themselves to maximize political advantage. So because it makes sense if they're going to move that way, because we really don't know. But being that Gavin Newsom has been a supporter of lineage-based reparations California task force, it makes sense because they know that black people will be like, well, he's been, supporting reparations. He supported the reparations task force. You know what I'm saying? So I said that, afterwards. I think possibly, but don't know for sure. Hold on.
No, I agree with you. To be honest, that would be a brilliant move on their part. And like you said, not only are they playing chess, they're playing 4-dimensional chess.
Right.
To do a move like that. Your video went out. Your video's off. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Sorry. Yeah,
there
I
you
can.
go.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing 4-dimensional chess with a move like that, because that would mean to me that even them throwing Biden's feeble ass out there to look crazy in that debate, to me, that would be part of the chess move. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're playing chess, you have to anticipate what the other side is going to do. You know what I'm saying? And so that would be something that they throw out there, anticipating the backlash that they was going to inevitably get for it, and then having the Gavin Newsom move already waiting in the wing, knowing that over the past couple of years he's already kind of positioned himself, like you said, supporting the reparations task force, giving giving that beach back to the family out there. What was it, Bruce's Beach?
Bruce's Beach.
You know, he was a part of that, and now this story that we just talked about with the Indian tribe out there getting their land back and all of that, that would give a lot of their shills some good talking points. That would be a brilliant move for them. I'm not saying, you know, it's a good look for us, but it would be a good look for them as far as their talking points. At least they would have some type of something to stand on, you know, the Roland Martins and all of them. You know, he'll be real sassy.
Exactly.
He'll be real sassy with those talking points. That'll give your shield something to work with, is what I'm trying to say. Y'all got to give y'all shield something to work with. Right now, they ain't got nothing to work with.
Nothing.
F. Newsom, he's a cancer to California and definitely be a cancer to the whole of the United States.
He has been a cancer to California as it pertains to the immigrants here, immigration policies, and also the gun laws here. You know, hindering our abilities to protect ourselves. You know, most of these snatch and grabs that you guys see on social media are happening right here in California. You know, but he's also hindering, you know, our abilities and business owners, you know, abilities to protect themselves. You know, police are not showing up to after the fact.
They said Jill Biden is mad. She said he will not resign. What about Kamala? They just throwing her under the bus. That's a good thing. Yeah, they don't. Trust me, the white supremacist women on both sides of the aisle do not want Kamala with the keys to the front door. They try to do anything in their power to avoid that.
Right.
That is not what they want to see.
Because number one, whether she's claiming to be black or she's claiming to be Asian, she's still not a white woman.
She still ain't white.
She still ain't white.
Still ain't white. And we're gonna shift from the West Coast to the East Coast real quick, because over in New York, they had a reparations hearing recently. And there was a sister assemblywoman out there in New York named Nikki Lucas, and she made a speech speaking truth to goddamn. Let me pull that up.
Let me find her.
I think she hit every point. I didn't have a problem with nothing she said. Hold on a second. Let me get this link pulled up. Hold on, they got a commercial.
There she go.
Hold on. Let me share this with y'all. And I can't play the whole thing. Y'all gonna have to go watch it because it's like 10 minutes long. But man, she hit every nail on the head. Let me tell y'all that much. And I'll probably just skip through it a little bit, but.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. American freedmen, those persons who have at least one ancestor that was enslaved in the United States of America, who was emancipated in 1863 by way of the Emancipation Proclamation, or 1865 by the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, and have been despoiled their rights as citizens due to the badges, incidents, and vestiges of slavery. It is crucial to include the study of lineage-based reparations as the determining factor for eligibility within the community. It is important to note that the current version of the bill does not align with the principles of reparations and raises constitutional concerns.
Now she's saying exactly what we've been saying. I was looking for her on social media. I couldn't find her. If anybody could find her contact information, again, her name is Nikki Lucas. She's an assemblywoman out there in New York. If anybody could find her contact information, we would love to chop it up with her. Because she is saying exactly what we've been saying. She's saying the way that they're pushing the study, because if y'all remember, that governor out there, I forgot that white woman's name, Hoko, whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Governor
Mm-hmm.
of New York. She was talking about pushing a study for reparations and getting a similar task force to what they got out there in California. And so this sister looked at what they was doing, and she said, "Look, the way that y'all wording this is they're gonna say it's unconstitutional. Y'all making it race based, and this is gonna get thrown out easily. They know it.
They already know
Again,
that.
it's one of them 4D chess moves."
Mm-hmm.
And so she actually was successful with this speech that she delivered. She made them correct the language to make it lineage based. She said, "I can't support this if y'all going to go about it the way that y'all going about it." She said, "I cannot support this because number one, it's not going to get pushed through, and number two, you're sacrificing the real people who have been harmed and who deserve to get prepared."
Right.
She talking that talk. I'm gonna skip through a little bit. Down a little bit.
This matter with fairness and a focus on rectifying specific harms endured by the affected communities. As discussions continue, it is essential to advocate for lineage-based reparations to ensure justice and equity for American freedmen who are direct descendants of enslaved individuals in the United States. Reparations should be targeted towards those who directly experienced harm. And that
she's spitting hot fire.
Right. And to our brother, our sister, Real Reality Production, I think that's what it is. He's saying, or she's saying, America isn't going to walk the walk, though. That's where the problem is. America didn't want to walk the walk of civil rights, right? But Black Americans, foundational Black Americans specifically, made them do it because all that turning up that Black Americans were doing, right? So I don't like when people say what's not going to happen. We didn't think that it was going to happen. Civil rights wasn't something that was supposed to happen either, but it did. Now, did they get it wrong and did we get it wrong? Yeah, we got it wrong by letting them put that one word in there, minority. But at the end of the day, it was passed. So, now, we've evolved. We understand what language that we need to use, and we understand what we have to apply pressure. And we have to stop supporting the people that don't support us. We're going to let them crash and burn until they give us the tangibles that we need. But I don't want to say that it's not going to happen. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No, but it's going to happen.
All right. Real Reality Productions. Yeah, we don't have that defeatist attitude around here.
No.
We don't have that defeatist attitude out here. It ain't over until we win. That's how we look at it. It ain't over until we win. And so we're going to keep banging. So we understand that they don't want to do justice. We got to make them do it.
Right.
Facts, Breeze. We on code like never before. Yeah, they ain't never seen this before. They scrambling because they like, damn, these Negroes are standing on business.
We standing on business, and hence why they're invading us with illegal aliens, because they're, instead of doing right by us, they're trying to create another voting block for themselves, and it's not going to work either because those people, historically don't vote for them either. Right. So, the best thing for them to do is, give us the tangibles, so that we can.
I don't know what happened. Maybe her phone rang or something. She'll be back. She'll be back in a second. But let me let this assemblywoman continue. Let me let her continue. Let me skip down here a little bit. Let me skip down here a little bit more. Let me skip down here a little bit more. Let me go down here.
Do you want an easy way?
I had a feeling that was going to happen. Hold on. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Let me get this commercial off of here. Oh, and Nicely is back too, by the way. Let me let that commercial pass, and then yeah, your thing just popped up. Hold on, let me let. By the way, if y'all just coming in here, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share this out on your social media platform. Let everybody know that we live, and we are reminding the Democrats about what they need to do in order to save themselves. If they want to save themselves, they're gonna have to do right by us. It's reparations or bust. Check it out.
Who has suffered due to the hundreds of years of slavery. We must get this right. I am strongly suggesting that we include the study of lineage-based reparations to this bill. We take some time to review and get it right. We do not participate in a process that continues to ignore the history, the pain, and the suffrage of enslaved Americans.
Oh no, what was that? Oh, Nicely keeps dropping down. I don't know what's going on with her stream. But you hear this sister, man? This sister got that FBA energy, man. She remind me of one of my aunties or something. You know, instead of holding up the sexy reds and trying to make them the representatives, you know, why not hold up sisters like this? She sound like this.
And there's many others like that, you know, but we can't control what the dominant society likes to represent us with, you know.
No doubt, reality real. No doubt. Or real reality, my bad. But yeah, she's saying all the right things. She didn't miss a beat. She's saying all the right things. So again, if anybody can find out her contact information, please send it to us, because I want to talk to her. Auntie, we looking for you, Auntie.
And ensure its integrity and effectiveness. And until that is done, I cannot, in good conscience, I cannot rush a bill. I cannot do an injustice for those and allow others to bear the pain, to bear the consequence, the fruits of those who have suffered. Do I want equity? Absolutely. Do I recognize the persecution of a people within the Americas? Yes, I do. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about reparations for an enslaved people who were robbed, beaten, raped. They don't have a wave and go back to another country.
That part, I just said that.
Their history stops at a certain point where they can't even trace it.
That's called delineation, family. That is called delineation. Let me stop sharing the screen. All right. Yeah. Shit, she was on point.
She was definitely on point. And see the difference when you're speaking about reparations with someone who is a foundational Black American versus someone that is not a foundational Black American, you know, the conversation is very different. You know, and then when you're talking about these other people who families did not, you know, are not, you know, from America, they tend to talk very disrespectfully and against what we're supposed to get, and it's only because they can't get it. And I don't know if you guys saw that video of his name is Byron Donald. He was somewhere in Atlanta. I mean, like it so you can see it. I think this is it right here. I just liked it in the materials. But a brother named Arthur Watkins Jr. on Facebook, not on Facebook, I'm sorry, on X posted this video. And he says, there it is. Byron Donald is a second generation immigrant telling American freedmen why reparations should not be paid. It's time for all American freedmen to delineate from all these immigrants that call themselves Black. And I'm not sure if you can play that video, because some brothers walked up on him and I just liked it. I mean, you know what? Let me reshare it in here. That way you don't have to worry about that. I'll reshare it. Some brothers was at some meeting that they were having and started asking him about tangibles, right? And he started talking about why Black American freedmen should not get cash reparations. Now he's going to play this video and listen to the difference in the conversation when you're talking to an actual freedman versus a non-freedman.
Am I good? Am I good?
You're good.
All right.
Dr. King said at the tail end of his life, he said, we're going to Washington to get our check. You understand? So now, what is your position on reparations?
That brother was serious, wasn't he?
Wasn't he? Country ass.
But now, what are y'all position on reparations?
On reparations. Cutting that check.
That's us right there. I can't play with y'all.
Thank you. Great question. Thank you. We can all be quiet and let them answer. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll be direct.
Is that steel?
I'm sorry?
That looked like sage steel. Is that sage steel that they got moderating or whatever?
I don't know. Let me look.
That looks like sage steel. Look, y'all. Y'all tell me if y'all think that's sage steel.
It does.
Your position on reparations.
Thank you. Great question. Thank you. We can all be quiet and let them answer. Thank you. Thank you.
I think that's sage steel, y'all. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping.
I'll be direct. First of all, I'll be direct with you. I'll be. You don't want to hear the Jim Crow stuff. Listen, I'll be direct with you. I don't believe in reparations. I don't. Well, then you don't believe in the black community. That's I will tell you, brother in the hat with the glasses on, that's not true. What I will tell you is that there's a question if you're going to get into the full economics of.
Listen, hold on. Let me say something real quick. He said, I don't believe in reparations.
We asked you about what you believe in.
Reparations is not a religion.
Right.
It's not something I believe in.
Right.
You know, it's not a theory. You know, reparations is a debt that is owed.
It's a debt that's owed.
Whether you believe in it or not, the debt is still owed. Fuck you talking about you don't believe in reparations. Tether? And don't he got a white wife too on top of that?
So.
He a Republican, Tether, bed buck.
Yeah, them eyes be bucking too.
He shouldn't even be in the room. Where's Nikki Lucas when you need her? Let me let him continue.
So reparations right now. Question number one: of all black people in the country, how many of them are actually descendants of slaves? Because you've had a lot of them.
You're not.
About 40 million of us, or so, give or take. We had a surge in immigration in the last 30 years or so, but it's still not a lot. They still a very small number. They're still a very small number. They probably like in the single digits as far as the millions. 3-4 million black immigrants in the country. It's about 40 million of us foundationals, give or take.
Immigration over the last 100 years in America of American slavery. There was slavery in the Caribbean. The one brother came up. He said that
slavery in the Caribbean ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. This ain't CARICOM. This ain't a CARICOM meeting.
His first generation of the brother in the Congo, because his parents came from Jamaica. My grandmother is from Jamaica.
So you don't qualify, sir.
That's why he don't believe in it. That's why he doesn't believe in it, because he knows that he don't get none.
He already got his. He fled over here. That's his reparations.
Right. Technically. Right.
Just fleeing to America is reparations for your ass. Everybody don't deserve. Everybody ain't supposed to have a microphone, man. That's the moral story.
My grandmother's Jamaican. I know exactly what you're talking about. My mother was born in the United States.
I'm born in the United States. So this is a fundamental question. You a black man, I'm a black man. Am I eligible for reparations right now? I would say the answer is no, I'm not. Because my family is from Jamaica. My father's Panamanian.
Right. Right.
They understand this too. He understands that clearly. They so smart, but when it comes to reparations and who qualifies, they don't understand no more.
So this video is long, so y'all can go check it out. But this is exactly why we delineate, family.
Mm-hmm.
That's a clear example right there. This is why the whole conversation really started about delineation and us circling our wagons around our unique culture and history and grievance.
Right.
Just because of this, because we started to notice that there were many of black faces in high places talking down on our reparations claim who come from these janky backgrounds, who shouldn't even be in the conversation. That's the first thing that we started to notice that made us say, oh, this is what the hell Dr. Anderson was talking about.
Right.
That's what made everything click. Niggas like this.
Stop calling yourselves African Americans.
Right. That's what made everything click. It was Negroes like this getting all up in the mix, talking about what we don't need. We.
Or what they don't believe in. Or what they don't believe in. Because he started it off with, let me just start with this. I don't believe in reparations. So?
Right. We know you don't believe in reparations because if you did, you would have stayed in your homeland and fought for it.
Right. And why didn't you flee to the country that enslaved you? Instead, you brought your black ass over here to America.
You know what I'm saying? And like the sister Nikki Lucas said, we ain't got no flag that we could wave and go back to. This our country right here.
Right here.
This our country right here. And you better sit there and tell us what we not supposed to get? The audacity. The audacity.
The coondacity.
All right, moving on. I ain't gonna play no more of that.
We're gonna move on. But I wanted to also talk about this article that came out on NBC News about the influencers and popular podcasts fuel election disinformation amongst Black voters. We're like, it's not disinformation. Y'all just don't like that we're not following your, suit. We're not listening to y'all anymore. They're mad that there's a new Black media.
Mm-hmm.
So it says on here,
and I'm looking for it. I've seen it.
Let me see. It's right under that guy who basically has to sell himself to a white woman to feed his family. Okay. So again, this is NBCnews.com. And so this was published on June the 25th. And sorry, I got a pop-up. Where is the button? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I got a stupid little pop-up. Okay. It says at least 40 million Americans may be regularly targeted and fed disinformation within Black online spaces by a host of sources across social media, fueling false information around the election, according to a news report published on Tuesday. Touted as the first deep dive into understanding disinformation targeting Black America, the report published by Onyx Impact, a nonprofit organization working to combat disinformation within the Black community, identified a half-dozen core online networks reaching or targeting Black Americans online with false and misleading narratives. Conservative commentators like Candace Owens are among the most influential to who? Influential distributors of false information, according to the report, followed by a variety of sources such as platforms geared towards the Black manosphere, like the Fresh and Fit podcast. Some episodes of the show have outright challenges women's intelligence and allows guests to share false and harmful narratives without pushback. Now that one I would say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And Fresh and Fit does not represent Black America, by the way. I want to say
That's
that,
the
so I
thing.
don't know what.
That's why I can't
Yeah,
say
they
yeah.
don't. Yeah. The report identifies some platforms like the nationally syndicated radio show, The Breakfast Club, okay, as a gateway influencer or an authentic online space that holds critical space for stemming the tide of disinformation. These platforms, however, are often targets for bad actors to introduce harmful narratives, according to the report. You guys can read more. It's a decent article.
But read
I
that
want to
part
just
again, though. Read that part
which
again,
one?
though. That
The last part.
last part.
Reports identify some platforms like the nationally syndicated radio show The Breakfast Club as a gateway influencer or authentic online space that holds critical space
Okay.
for.
Okay. So what they're saying there, what they're trying to say there is some of the guests that the Breakfast Club have had are the people that they're talking about that are pushing misinformation. So they're saying people use the Breakfast Club platform to get credibility, to go out into the social media space and push disinformation. So if Umar Johnson shows up on the Breakfast Club, or Tariq Nasheed shows up on the Breakfast Club, or whatever the case may be, they're saying this is their way of garnering some type of authenticity
with them,
as if to say that the Breakfast Club is authentic. This is where we get our credentials from. That's what they're trying to say.
I have to read the second paragraph because I just noticed the names that they threw out here. So I have to read this other paragraph. 3 other effective sources of disinformation, the report notes, are extreme Black novices and separatists like foundational Black Americans who don't believe in the concept. Sorry, y'all. I got my earpiece.
Get your earpiece back in there.
I'm sorry. It fell out. I got excited. It says, like foundational Black Americans who don't believe in the concept of Pan-Africanism and have stressed that people who are not descendants of enslaved people should speak for or on behalf of Black Americans. And we stand on that, as well as health skeptics such as Riza Islam, an activist and self-proclaimed intellectual extremist who has said without evidence that childhood vaccines destroy the brain chemistry and lead to autism and other disabilities. And that's a lie. He has always brought receipts. Always brought receipts.
Receipt master.
Receipt master. So it says, according to the CDC, this is not true. None of the other individuals or platform listed above responded to requests for comment. I doubt it. Y'all didn't reach out because
They lying like a mom.
RZA would have corrected you.
You know damn well if they would have called RZA, he would have responded.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Reason he would have responded. If they would have called Tariq or anybody else that they talking about,
they would have responded.
They Black Americans. So we pushing disinformation by saying that Tether shouldn't speak for us. That's disinformation.
Right. That's like us going in and speaking to for the Asian community, island, Pacific Islanders and stuff like that. Like, I shouldn't have a voice, right?
And by the way, what outlet is that?
That was NBCnews.com.
So NBC News, the white media is telling y'all who's credible and who's not credible.
Basically,
as far as Black voices are concerned.
Right.
Mainstream white media is going to tell y'all who y'all need to be listening to and who you don't need to be listening to, where you need to be getting your information from. Who's
they
authentic?
Want us to listen to Roland Martin, Joyless Reed, and the rest of the flunkies, basically.
Ain't none of them pushing disinformation, even though many of their lies have been debunked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too deep into that, but the World Health Department and the CDC people are now coming out. The Fauci's and all of them are now coming out, recanting a lot of stuff that they were saying during the pandemic, admitting to a lot of things that people like Riza was telling us the whole time. They're coming out now admitting all of this stuff, but you're not pointing none of those outlets out that had them on pushing all the disinformation.
Right.
They're not on your hit list.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Yeah,
Man,
so y'all can definitely check that out. I thought that that was super duper interesting, and I say that when they tell us not to listen to someone, maybe those are the people we should be listening to. But
exactly.
again, you still have to be careful out here because there's a lot of people that look like us, talk like us, right? And then we'll
That's
do
true.
a complete switcheroo,
That
so
is
be
very true.
careful.
That is very true. And I had a conversation the other night with my dude I do. Shout out to my dude I do.
What's
He
up, I
called
do?
up he called up he called up to one of Tariq's spaces the other day. I know y'all heard him on there. He was talking to Tariq for a minute on one of the spaces. His name was Kente. If y'all go back to it, I forgot what the title was, but he's a Ghanaian brother, young brother. We had him on the show, as a matter of fact, early on when we first started doing the Black Business Showcase. He was one of the early people that we had on. But he called up and he was talking to Tariq, asking some bad faith questions on the on the Twitter space and all of that about our delineation and all of that stuff. It wasn't too bad, but it was some bad faith questions, and I recognized his voice. And so as soon as I heard it, I was listening to the replay. I said, "Hold on, I know who this
I
is."
know this is.
As soon as I heard it, I called this nigga. I called him. I'm like, "Nigga, why are you calling up with these bad faith ass questions?" And we ended up on the phone for like 2 hours chopping it up. And a lot of things that he kept harping on was like what you just pointed out. There are a lot of people who lurk around in these spaces who use some of our verbiage and talk like us and sound like us, who are pushing some whole other different
Other shit.
and those are the people that he was paying attention to and lumping them in with us.
Right.
I had to point that out to him on the phone. I'm like, dude, these people that you're talking about, this is not what we saying. You know what I'm saying? All of the talking points that he was bringing up, these are the bogus people who are using our verbiage to push a whole different message. We do have to be careful with those people trying to blend in and sound like us, but they got some whole. I think those are agents, to be honest.
Right.
I think those are agents, to be honest. I think those are coming from, yes, exactly, agents of chaos. Those are people who are being sent into our spaces to soak up the game and then put a remix and a spin to cause confusion about our message. So we got to be very clear and very diligent about what we're saying and make sure that we staying on message and being very, very clear about it. Because some people are genuinely confused. I think my man I don't think he's a tether, even though I had to get on him a little bit. I don't think he's a tether, to be honest. I think some of the people that sound like us are the people that he was really geared in on.
Right.
And he wasn't able to differentiate. You know what I'm saying? Because they're calling themselves foundational Black Americans. They're talking about tethers and delineation and all that. Some of the key words that we're using. So it's like, so that ain't what y'all saying? I'm like, no, nigga, that ain't what we saying.
And there's a difference in an African, a Caribbean, and a tether. We've always said that too. Not all Africans or all Caribbeans are tethers, but people hear what they want to hear also. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been said over and over again, but people tend to only hone in on what, they deem as negative. You know what I'm saying? So, and we can't help that. We can't spin our wheels, say all we can do is say, this is what we mean. This is a tether. This is not a tether. But if you want to focus on the tether, you know what I'm saying, and look at that as something negative, maybe you are a tether. You have to check yourself.
Right. Yeah, I had to get him straight, though. I had to get him straight because one thing I didn't like that he did, and I told him this, he said, yeah, because he was promoting his clothing line too. And he was talking about how certain people who identify themselves as foundational Black Americans wouldn't support his brand because he's non-FBA, right? And I said, okay, you brought that up, but who's the very first person to buy a shirt from you when you first started your brand?
I'm just saying.
It was me. I was the very first person to support him. When he told me he was going to start his clothing line, because I used to cut his hair, he told me he was going to start his clothing line. I encouraged him to do it. And the minute he got it off the ground, I bought a shirt off him.
Right.
And he know I'm FBA to the bone. So I said, if you was going to bring up the ones that wouldn't support you because you're not FBA, why you didn't bring me up?
Right.
I had you on my show, all of that. I said, so that you was coming in bad faith with that one. I can't tolerate it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we gotta keep getting some straightening out here. I know you got to get ready to go. I can finish up if you need to bounce. right now.
I do, y'all.
Last story. Go ahead. Say your goodbyes, and I'll
I
finish up.
gotta make a little run. You know, I'm going outside. I got another engagement that I have to go to. But thank you to everybody that tuned in today. We do appreciate y'all. Also, make sure you guys tune in this Wednesday. That's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna have our beautiful sister Sacred Chimes on. Sacred Chimes will be on this Wednesday. So what is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days. Make sure you guys tap in with us 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Also, it's right behind Sincere, and it's also right behind me. Check out our first volume children's book, Seven the Super Heru, Seven's Big Move. That is out now. You guys can get that at www.godcastbooks.com. That's www.godcastbooks.com. Volume 2, and our activities book is on the way. Thank you to everybody that has supported thus far. I am going to be signing off right now. Love y'all. Thank you.
All right, peace.
Peace, Sincere.
Talk to you later. All right, so I'm gonna finish up here. I ain't gonna be too much longer, but I did want to talk about this story coming out of Washington D.C. as well. As y'all know, tonight we've been talking about it's reparations or bust for the Democrats. And we're seeing a lot of different reparations movements popping up all around the country. We talked about California. We talked about New York. And they also got something going on in Washington, D.C. And they were making some progress recently. So I wanted to point this out as well. Let me read some of this. Reparations effort for Black Washington, D.C. residents moves forward. The D.C. Council approved a budget that allocates funds for reparations task force. So we see stuff like this happening in different pockets around the country, and we definitely got to highlight that. The Washington, D.C. City Council approved a budget for next year that includes funds for reparations task force scheduled to study restitution and to develop proposals to address the harms of slavery. The allocation makes Washington the latest city to develop legislation aimed at rectifying historical wrongs against Black Americans and their impact on their descendants. The funding makes up 1.5 million. The funding makes 1.5 million of the city's $21 billion budget, which is a drop in the bucket, with which the Washington, D.C. Council approved Tuesday. According to the Washington Post, the 2025 budget includes a provision directing the chief financial officer to allocate money for the task force. The legislation to create the task force is aimed at developing reparations for Black residents directly wronged and traumatized by the ills of slavery, Jim Crow, and structural and institutional racism, the bill reads. It also requires the commissioner of the Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking to create a slavery-era database of slaveholding records, including life insurance policies on enslaved persons. So I like some of the language that they got in this Washington, D.C. bill as well. And so, again, it's only a study at this point. So, we're not satisfied with just them saying that they're going to study reparations. That's not going to make us move and support anyone just because they're saying they're going to allocate some funds to do a study. That's cool, but that's still not enough to get us to move, right? But my thing is, I want to make sure that Washington, D.C., as well as California and some of these other places where they're doing these task force, I want to make sure that they got people on board like the sister that we seen up there in New York, Nikki Lucas. We got to make sure that we got people in the room that are speaking exactly like her. We need people in these rooms and on these task force that are talking exactly like her, who are there to make sure that all of the I's are dotted and all of the T's are crossed when it comes to getting the language right and making sure that the right people are targeted when it's time to cut them checks. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it is, family. That's what it is. That's where we at with it. What else I wanted to point out before we get out of here? So yeah, again, man, it's reparations or bust for the Democrats. You know, Democrats are scrambling right now. They're trying to figure out how to do anything except for the right thing to get us back on board. But we have to stand 10 toes down on what we need as far as reparations and tangibles specifically for us. And so after the debate the other day, one of the Democratic advisors, what's his name? What's this guy's name? Something Carville. Hold on. Let me close some of these tabs up. Shit. Hold on. I forgot this dude's name. Hold on. 1 second. Something Carville. It says Carville on Biden's debate. He relies on employees, not advisors. So yeah, they the good thing is they coming out and admitting that fiasco was not a good look. James Carville, that's his name. He's a longtime Democratic strategist. I was telling him what to do. He has employees. So basically, he just has handlers. He's basically a damn nursing home patient at this point. He's a Alzheimer's patient at this point, and he just got handlers around him, you know, holding him like a damn puppet. And so they coming out and admitting this stuff. They're signaling across the aisle, this ain't a good look. They sending the signals out, letting people know, hey, something got to be done about this. They don't think he's going to make it. I think Carville said he thinks he's going to be replaced. Let me see. Carville told Axios that he never thought Biden running was a nifty idea, quote unquote, and predicts that Biden will be off the ballot by election day. So this is one of their top advisors saying this. They think he's going to be off the ballot by election day. So I asked y'all earlier, what y'all think? Y'all think they're going to keep Biden on, or they're going to replace him with somebody else? Some Democrats are sounding their alarm after the debate, while others are sticking behind the president. Despite what his campaign staff may think, Carville said there are only a few people who the president really listens to. He doesn't have advisors, he has employees. The fact that some House Democrats are questioning his capabilities was unthinkable before the debate, but now some say it's time for him to step aside. So that's what it is. But that's not the answer for y'all Democrats. Just simply taking Biden's old ass out of there and replacing them with somebody else, that's not the answer. Y'all are in trouble with your historical base, which is us, foundational Black Americans, and the only way out of that is reparations. It's reparations or bust. Ain't nothing else to talk about. But that's it, fam. That's it. Like I said, I wasn't going to be on here too much longer, man. It's time to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all tuning in with us as always. We do this every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. That's our new time. We've been coming on lately. It seemed like y'all like that time, so we're trying to stick to this time frame right here to come on and chop it up with y'all on Sundays. But this is our weekly broadcast where we talk about current events and other issues that we find important that pertain to us in foundational Black American society. And on Wednesdays, we do the Black Business Showcase where we bring on business owners and entrepreneurs and chop up game with them about business. So if that's you, if you are a business owner or entrepreneur and you would like to have your business featured on the Black Business Showcase, hit me up in the DM or hit Nicety Girl up in the DM, or you can send us an email at godcastenterprises@gmail.com. Let us know what you got going on, and we can get you on the schedule to come on the Black Business Showcase and chop it up with the family. I think that's it. So again, man, thank y'all for tuning in. That does it for today's episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. Never forget, family, always remember, we are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Peace and Black love.